Alright, today we're going to look at how you can make a console-based ChatGPT assistant almost, and in this case we are going to be using OkGoDoIt's API, and this is for .NET. We'll be using C# 8.0 I think, as well as the latest stable release of the .NET SDK. And for this, everything I used is right off the front page, pretty much everything. The only thing that you'll need outside of what I'm writing on screen is of course your OpenAI API key, which I think is $20 a month to join like the Plus program or whatever, which gives you access to all those features. So as long as you've got that, you are all set. When I enter my key, don't worry, I will change it before this video is uploaded, so that key will no longer exist. You don't have to worry about that. To start off, let's just go ahead and get building. Our main objective, of course, we want to be able to enter a question and get a response back from ChatGPT. They should be using 3.5 by default, I think Turbo, so you can use 4, but I think at this point, even if you're paying for the ChatGPT Plus, it is limited to so many messages an hour, so it may not be the best idea. Or you could always program in a flag later on to allow you to do like a -4 to use 4 if you wanted. But anyway, we are going to be using, of course, OpenAI API, so we'll start with that, and then we are going to make a variable called API and set that equal to a new instance of that OpenAI API. That gets me every time. There we go. And this is where you'll put your secret code. Again, mine's already in there, so we'll leave that. And then we're going to make another variable called chat, and we'll set that equal to API.chat. And in this case, we want to create a conversation. There we go. And once our conversation is created, we don't have to do this, but we are going to do a few things. The first is going to be set a system message, which just kind of helps the bot define its role. You can kind of do some pretty funny stuff with this, but we'll just do a simple one. And it's going to be chat.append system message. There you go. And we are, in this case, going to say, you absolutely love the store Marshalls. Did I spell Marshalls? It's close enough. All right, so that's the chat's personality. There you go. And then we can also do append a user message. And this is going to be an example of what we want the AI's responses to be like. You can do multiple of these and chain them together, and it'll give the AI more of an idea of what it should be doing. But for the append user input, we'll go ahead and say, what's your favorite store? It's already coming up for us with CoPilot. And then in this case, you want to append a example chat output. There you go. Perfect. And in this case, we want it to say, AI already knows my favorite store is Marshalls. Perfect. And that's pretty much all you need to set it up. At this point, you're ready to rock and roll. So we can do chat.append user input. And we do want to actually capture the user input. So we do console.readline. And just before this, I think we are going to do a console.write, because what we want to do is make sure we understand, who's speaking basically. Is the AI speaking or myself? And the way I like to do this is just 2 arrows out for our own input, what we're sending into the bot. And then once we have our console.readline, we can also, add a .trim in there just to remove any white space. I think that can reduce the time it takes to actually generate a response, I believe. If you have like a long article or you feed in text, removing the white space can help. And then we'll go ahead and just do a variable. Oops. I get that out of here. It's going to be a var. We'll call it result or response. It could be. And it isn't chat.getResponse. I don't know why it tries to say that, but it is going to be get response from chatbot async. And then we can do a console.write again. In this case, of course, we want to make sure we are pointing in the out direction. Looks like the bot already knew that. And then we can go ahead and write a response in there. And that should be all that we need, although we do want to make sure that this is running in a loop here. So we can expand that. We'll take all this garbage and just throw it right in there. There you go. Tab that out. And I think we lost a bracket. Perfect. And that should be all that's needed. Let's go ahead and give it a run. We'll do .NET and build just to make sure we have no errors. And it doesn't look like we have any errors here, so we'll now just do a .NET and run the program. Okay, there's our little prefix indicating we can type now. We'll say, what's your favorite store? Well, as you can see, this is 3.5. It's kind of stupid. It didn't actually take too much into consideration with our system message. I haven't really looked too far into it. It'd probably be interesting to see exactly what this is doing, aside from just that abstract description. But yep, there you go. There's your OpenAI. Of course, you can do, an actual question. It can answer what is 2 + 2. And of course, it's going to give you a response. So how is this useful? You've got a working piece of software now. You can go ahead and enter questions. Now, in order to use this usefully, you'd probably want to be able to just call it right off the command line, without having to do .NET run when you're in the directory. And in order to do that, you can type in environment variables, pull that window up, And under your user profile, go ahead and select path edit, and then just add the location of the binary output. Or if you've already packaged it and it's published, that standalone exe, you can dump it somewhere and just go ahead and use it just like that. So let me, ding one more time. Let's assume that this is completed. Mine is. We go ahead and open PowerShell. We can now do oo-waifu is what that was named. And you can see here the prompt does give us the ability to enter something. We can do what is 3 plus 4. And I did realize these are opposite. This makes a lot more sense. Now if we go ahead, we'll do .net and build that. Perfect. So we can go back to PowerShell and we can go ahead and run that same command again. And we now should be able to say what is 2 plus 2. And its output comes with the arrows corrected. And so the sum of 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Perfect. There you go. Now you know how to use ChatGPT from the command line. You can, of course, take this tons farther and do a whole lot of stuff. Also, it might be useful to just want to call, let's say your application is just a single letter name or you've got an alias. You can then do a flag for, let's say, -4 if you want ChatGPT 4 instead of the default. Or even just enter your text here as input. Perfect. I hope everyone enjoyed. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy.